Merry Christmas everyone, it is Simba here and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today this is a very special race because this is a McKeon race in the Brazilian Grand Prix in SLR, round 19 of the championship, and we have been given the call up to race in the McKeon division, the top split of this league, and it is a sprint weekend, the final sprint weekend of the season. And if you go on to enjoy this video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more league racing content. And let's get this video underway with qualifying. You can see we're at the end of our first run on the soft tyres. We've fueled up for 2 laps, so we can just recharge the battery and go again. You can see we are finishing the banker lap. We go to the left hand side of the line. It's a 7.9 for a banker lap, and that is actually quite decent. So yeah, I mean, not a bad start to the session. We practiced quite a lot for this race in preparation. I want to make sure that we do the best job possible to prove to the admins and any other drivers that doubt me that we are definitely McKeon worthy. As we're on our second run there, you saw that we missed the apex of the last corner, John Sao, before the hill. But we've still improved by a 10.5, and we do a 7.7, and that puts us in P5. So we're in the top 5 at the minute, but we are going to get demoted down to P6. We are just behind Jitto at the time. We're still behind him as we are preparing for our final lap of the session. Up the hill after John Sao, ready to turn on the overtake just before you hit the DRS sign. And there you go, DRS open, and we're going to talk you through our best lap of this Interlagos track. Down the main straight towards turns 1, 2 and 3, third gear for the rotation, and we short shift the 4th gear through turn 2 to maximise the traction through this left-hander of turn 3, near to the curb as possible on the left-hand side. But unfortunately, we are half a tenth down, so it's not been the best start to the lap. We are half a tenth off crowding as well, as Elite Risks, our teammate for the race, goes into pole position with a blinding lap. He is very quick. He was the Div 1 champion last season, and he has done nothing more than just be even more impressive in the McKeon division as well, which is absolutely insane. But meanwhile, we're going through this middle sector now. 4th gear, close to the curb as you can, up on the throttle as quick as possible. And now these 2 corners here, you get understeer on the entry. So just like what Jan Opmir said in his Brazilian Grand Prix video, you get understeer on the entry through these corners. So we have to turn it a little bit earlier through John Sao and that right-hander, but we have found another 10.5. So this could be very good. We're P6. We're looking to crack into the top 5, which is above expectations here, because these guys are so quick. Across the line, it is P5 with a 7.5, and that is the top 5 for the sprint race. And I was very happy. We are half a second off the pace, but which is quite a gap in a short track like Brazil. But I was very happy with that, because I thought this entire race was going to be a struggle, because these guys are very quick as we are preparing for the sprint race. On the medium tyres, it's going to be 12 laps of flat out pushing to the checkered flag to find out where we start for the real thing. We are in a party chat with Elite Risks, Ogween, Turner, Race Roller, Rigsy and Shut Medal, if I've gotten everyone involved there. It was quite a big party, and this is quite a big race for us as we get underway for the Brazilian sprint race in Interlagos, and it is a pretty decent getaway from us. Corey's a little bit slow off the line, but he sends it on Elite Risk. We're trying to go down the inside of Crowding. We go from the outside to the inside, but Crowding is able to stay ahead of us. And one thing I did notice very quickly racing against these McKeon guys is they are not afraid to use a lot of the ERS in the opening 2-3 laps of a Grand Prix. So I haven't discovered this yet. I'm still on 80% battery. So, you know, we've got a decent amount of battery because it's quite hard to save ERS around this track. But I'm not going to lie to you. We're currently 5th right now. But I can tell you, we stay 5th for quite a while. Not much is happening. We kept a very solid pace, but around the time we skipped through to lap 11, we dropped out of DRS range from the top 4. So there you go, we're just outside DRS range, but something is going to happen up front.
Oh, dearie me. Yep, him and Corey have just crashed. Dearie me. Chat, we're 3rd.
And you can hear my surprise there, as you can hear me say, we're actually third. I did not expect to be running this high up the field in this race. Yes, there are 12 people racing, but being P3 when you're getting a call up to a Grand Prix isn't too bad at all. So on the last lap of the Grand Prix, you can probably hear me doing more comms in the background. But there you go. We had very solid pace. We were just about keeping up with the top 4. And a little bit of luck has gifted us a P3 in the sprint race and P3 on the grid for the main race.
Put him in the sprint. We'll fucking take that. Let's go.
So you can hear me being quite happy with that, and I was very happy with that. But now I realise that we've got a race to do. We've got another 36 laps to do. So you see crowding nearly absolutely binning it on the formation lap. But we're going to start on the hard tyre. We're going to trust the hard tyre, and we're going to go onto the mediums and go aggressive towards the end of the race. So what can we do from P3 on the grid? In our first McKeon race of the season, we are underway for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we get another decent start off the line. We could have a go at crowding, but Race Roller in the Red Bull, the former McKeon champion, is having a look at us already on the medium tyres, and I knew this was bound to happen because the medium tyres are so much quicker in the initial stage of the race, and you can see him here going for a move down into turn 4, and he's making the move stick here, and we can't really afford to fight him too much, and we just give P3.
Who's that now?
No matter as well.
Southerner and Andres.
Andres and Southerner. I think a safety car. Was there any?
Yeah.
So you can hear Turner confirming what happened at the back. There was a collision at the back, but now you're going to see Elite Risks sending it up the inside as well. And as you can see, we are side by side going through the downhill towards Junsao, but we end up backing out of it again, and Elite Risks is through up into P4. So we've lost 2 places at the start, but the main thing is we have kept our front wing intact, and we know what we need to do.
I just kind of got a big thunder on the other side and...
Yeah, Riss, I'm just gonna follow you, mate. I'm not gonna fight you at all. You're probably quicker than me.
And you can hear me saying to Risks, I'm not going to fight you, you're probably quicker, which is something I don't really like admitting, but he is the quicker driver out of the 2 of us. Lap 5 now, Corey's right behind us. You can hear me complaining about him, but something's happened. We're crowding down the inside.
Nah, Risks, mate. Mate, record it. Oh, Corey's binned it. He's had a head loss.
Of course, yeah. What a guy.
Corey's had a head loss.
Come on, safety stop, please. Please. No, it was crowding killed.
Crowding took out Elite, and then Corey just had a head loss by himself.
And then Corey just pinned himself. What a guy.
Right behind me as well, so he couldn't handle...
Corey got too happy that you were losing, and then he just killed himself.
You can hear Turner summing up what just happened there pretty damn well, and we're up into P4. So once again, a little bit of luck has promoted us up another place as we move on to lap 6. Crowding has just taken out Risks. I have to be a little bit careful, and he goes off the track there. He goes all over the curb at turn 3, and this is our chance to overtake him. DRS wide open towards turn 4. This is for a podium place, and to get back P3 down the inside into turn 4, and we complete the move up into the podium places again.
Come on, let's have it.
And you can hear me being very, very happy at that overtake. We move up into P3, and maybe we could catch Roller, but as soon as the celebrations start, we get a warning for track limits. The first warning of the day, and yeah, we just need to be a little bit mindful of track limits. It's very easy to get a penalty here in Brazil, but crowding isn't done yet.
This guy needs to piss off.
And you can hear me not being too happy with that, as I'm saying he needs to go away, as we're losing time to Roller and Ogwin up front. And you can hear me continuing to not be happy about crowding. Very aggressive, and yeah, it's the way it is. You'll always find people that are a bit more aggressive than others, but for the time being, we stay ahead, and we're going to try and see if we can catch up to Race Roller on those medium tyres. I should be going off at this stage of the Grand Prix. But Crowding is still not done yet. We go defensive on lap 9 on the inside. Crowding tries the outside. We give him just enough space. Good racing between the two of us. There's a little bit of contact through turn 3, but we stay ahead for the time being. We're having to drain the battery here. You see, we don't have much left, but for the time being, we are still in P3, but we're 2 seconds behind Roller now. But we're hanging on for dear life here.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, fuck this game. Fuck this game.
And you could hear someone in the background saying they don't like voicing their displeasure at the game. And that was VRA Andres, who becomes important in just a couple of moments' time, because lap 9, Crowding is still right attached to our gearbox, and we're really finding it difficult to pull away from him. We can't shake him off for the time being, but there is going to be a huge moment in this race, and explains why the title is where it is. We've got a safety car on lap 9, and to my horror, it means we're going to have to pit on medium tyres. But there is a reason why I've titled this video the way it is. Now, just watch closely and pay attention.
Wait, boys, can we two-stop? Is that possible? I mean, I'm not staying out on hards. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that.
This guy is loud. What the fuck?
What? Hey, yo, what? What? Mate!
Interesting.
Oh, are you serious?
Okay, nah.
Oh, I've been held. Oh, no. What a restart. Abu Dhabi-esque.
The weirdest safety car restart you will ever see. The safety car didn't even bother picking up the leader, but there's something going on in the pit lane as well.
I mean, I did the time.
Andres! Oh my god, mate.
What?
Why are you crawling there, bruv?
Wait, what?
What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, Lee. Hold on. Sorry. I'm smashed into the back of Andres.
Wait, I'm behind the pit.
Oh, Crowding!
Wait, what?
Crowding!
What
What's he doing? This knobhead! I don't understand him!
It feels like it's all, Oh, sorry.
So, there's a lot to cover here. There's a lot to cover after what has just happened. The safety car's not picked up the leader. We ended up pitting on medium tyres. And now Crowding has hit the back of us. And he's overtaken us. And I am fuming at this point in time. I'm weaving down the straight up the hill to let Elite Risk through, who's on soft tyres, because the game has locked his MFD to go for soft tyres. He couldn't change to, I think, the hard tyre, because he started on mediums, I think. But there you go. Risk's race has been absolutely ruined as well, as we let our teammate through and we skip to lap 14. Elite Risk is up into P3, but we make a mistake, and so does he. He goes way off track. We take the position, but we get a second warning for track limits after making a huge save of our own. So we're counting our lucky stars that we are still facing the right way in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Lap 14, and we've still got a lot to play for here. Race Roller is on the hard tyre, and we are looking to see if we can work together and if he will let me through.
Roller, might pass you here. I mean, no, that's fine. I wasn't expecting that anyway.
So you can hear me say there, I expected nothing less anyway. And that was basically me asking if he's going to let us through. But being a former McKeon champion doesn't allow you to let people through. So I'm not surprised by this answer at all. And we're going to see if we can pass him on track instead of him letting us through. So lap 15 onto 16. We've waited a lap, and we're going to see if we can pass the former McKeon champion down the main straight towards turn 1. We pick the outside line, heavy braking, down into third gear. And this is really good racing from us. We complete the move up into P3.
Crowding should take notes. That's how you do an overtake.
You can hear me telling Crowding that's how you do an overtake, but he's still coming back out as the move has not been completed yet. We're going to try and defend the inside into turn 4, and we just give him enough space again, and we stay ahead.
And that's how you defend properly.
And there you go. My words speak for themselves. You can tell I was very angry at Crowding even after what happened on lap 11. This is a couple of laps later as well, so I was not very happy at all. And he did apologise afterwards. so I guess it's alright. It's just one of those things that happens, and I can tell you, I did report it to the stewards, but, you know, they looked at it after the deadline, so he's not going to get penalised for it. So, yeah, he's still going to finish ahead of us at the end of the day, so it is what it is. But lap 24, we skipped all the way to lap 24. Roller, I think, had his race ruined along with Elite as well. But now we're dealing with another McKeon race winner, and that is SLR Corey, who's been rapid this season. And we're going to see if we can defend our P3 from the Williams. He's trying to go run outside again in a turn 4. We stay ahead. He tries a switchback, actually. But again, we close the door on him, making our Alfa Romeo as wide as possible, as we're actually trying to get to the end of the Grand Prix on these tyres. We can't afford to stop again, otherwise we're just throwing away so much track position. So whether we like it or not, we have to make this work. On to the next lap. Corey is still applying pressure to us, and this time he is a lot closer. Now at turn 3, we haven't covered the inside line this time. We're trying to use the battery, but he has more ERS to work with. As you see, his red light isn't flashing. He makes the move down the inside of turn 4. There's nothing much we can do, and he is up into 3rd place, and we're down to P4. And you can see there the tyres, very briefly, I looked at the MFD, and the tyres are nearly at 50%, and we've still got 11.5 laps to go here, including this one. So we've got big problems on our hands, and you can see there the tyre wear is only getting worse. And you can hear me say there, the tyres have hit 64% as the most worn out tyre out of the 4. And we've still got 7 laps to go. But we're keeping up with Corey in his DRS range. So the pace is still quite solid. But we've got to be mindful of Jitto and Shut Metal behind us, because they started on mediums and they went onto hard tyres during the safety car period. So they're going to be a lot quicker than us towards the end of the race. And speaking of people being quicker than us towards the end of the race, we skip to lap 32 now. And this is the new McKeon champion, SLR Ogwe, who decided to pit. He pitted on the same lap as us for the mediums. He decided he couldn't go to the end of the Grand Prix. He didn't want to risk losing the race due to a puncture like Raikkonen in Nürburgring in 2005. And he's decided to go on soft tyres. And we are not challenging him whatsoever. It is completely pointless. We're trying to get to the end of the Grand Prix while he's still trying to win the race.
Yeah, I wasn't going to make that too difficult for you. It would be pretty pointless.
And there you go, you can hear me say there, it'd be very pointless trying to fight him, as he also passes the Williams of SLR Corey. But in the meantime, Ogwin gets himself a 3-second time penalty, which could cost him, as crowding is due to get 5 seconds for the collision with Elite Risks. But the main thing is for us, we are still right behind the Williams of SLR Corey. Jitto and Medal are starting to reel us in with 4 laps to go, so it could be anyone's game. We are saving the battery as well in case of an attack from the guys behind. But Corey right now seems to be really struggling in this middle sector. We haven't been this close to him for quite a couple of laps. And look at this, he's really slow.
Yeah, Corey's really struggling.
And you can hear me say there, Corey's struggling, and that is because he's got a puncture. You can see he goes across the grass there through the right-hander. And I think he's had a collision with Jitto as well. So Jitto, who was most likely to benefit from all this by being on the hard tyre and being so much quicker than us, he's been taken out along with SLR Corey. We're back up to P3 with 3 laps to go. But the tyres are 77% as Ogwin is pushing for his life, trying to get the race win back from crowding, who is due to have a penalty as well. So we've got to hang on here. We skip to the last lap of this Brazilian Grand Prix in the McKeon division, and we are on the verge of scoring yet another podium in a McKeon race. But Shut Medal, our fellow Division 1 driver, is reeling us in like he's never done before, because his tyres are in so much better condition than ours. The tyres are at 86% right now, and we are just desperate. We're just praying that we do not face a similar fate to SLR Corey. You can see there, the tyres are at 86% at the front tyres. The tyres are absolutely shot, but we've still got enough ERS to get us across the line. Ogwin has somehow managed to catch crowding and win the Grand Prix. I can tell you now, he wins the Grand Prix as well. But for us, we drain the battery just like last season. We hang on to the tyres and we claim a podium in the McKeon division.
Yes! Come on! Yes!
And there you go. We are back in McKeon, and we are back on the podium. In the Brazilian Grand Prix, I could not have imagined a better race from us. Medal gets driver of the day. He had a collision on lap 1, and he finishes 4th. As you can see, crowding celebrate with the trophy. I can confirm that is not the case. That is Ogwin winning the Grand Prix, crowding 2nd, and we finish on the podium for the first time since the Hungarian Grand Prix. It has been way too long, way too many races of being unlucky and things not going our way, but finally, the luck was there, the race management was there, the racecraft was there, just everything was there for us, and we took full advantage and we scored our first podium in McKeon this season. And that is going to be the end of today's video, guys. Subscribe to the channel for more league racing content. We'll be back again at Brazil and then Abu Dhabi to round off the year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas.